Welcome to Level Up with Hakim, the podcast where we bring to the table real stories, real experiences. Today I have a thoughtful reader, keynote speaker, and the founder of a Charmed&Grounded leadership philosophy rooted in presence, connection, and sustainable culture. His entrepreneurial journey began in hospitality, where he opened and led the restaurant teams from a young age and discovered firsthand what most leadership books miss. Welcome to the show, Anthony. How are you today?
Ciao, Hakim. I'm doing great. Thank
Nice.
you very much for having
Antonio.
me here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Kind of international.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here, actually, and it's amazing.
I'm really happy to have you here. Really excited. Of course, we spoke before, so we
Yeah.
we have so much to talk still about. But I'm really excited to bring to the show real stories about leadership, especially with your background and your experiences. We're gonna jump to it. We go to more details, but I want to start with fun question. I always start with my guest. So let's if you would choose to be somewhere else, not the hospitality, what kind of industry you would be and why?
Ooh, what a question. Um, Actually, I was thinking about it 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I was driving in my car and I was saying, okay, what would I be if I wouldn't be like in hospitality and all those things? And I think I'd be a farmer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there is something, I don't know,
Yeah.
special in working the land. And I'm not talking about like a big industry or a big production farm,
Yeah, just your
but
own farm.
just your own farm. And I mean, working the land with your hands and growing the seed and trying to control the environment that doesn't want to be controlled. And just see the seeds growing in two or three and then giving the fruit
Really
or
nice.
vegetables. I think it's also like a metaphorical way of leadership as well, right?
Yeah. Wow. I'm really surprised because the last maybe couple of years,
Yeah.
I'm really interested in farming.
Yeah,
Like,
really?
yeah, personally, I want to learn, farming. I also learn it as a skill, because also I have a goal, like, let's say,
Yeah.
a couple of years, I want to have a small farm and,
Yeah.
generate your own food, like the eggs, the tomato, and the things you eat every day. So that's really interesting. But why? Why especially farmer?
I think because it brings you close to not who you really are, but it helps. Since you work with the land, you're close in connection with the earth. So it grounds you in a way.
Nice.
And I always have it with gardening already. So I picture myself with even more space and even more things that I could grow, being in nature the whole time. But maybe it might also be like a kind of something that is in rebellion with what I did till now, always working with people in hospitality. So yeah, it's a kind of quiet returning to yourself, working
Mm.
with nature for nature, and still growing something.
Yes, definitely. You
Yeah,
watch the process, like,
yeah,
and you get the harvest. You harvest what you worked on.
yeah, yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, I really love the question.
Really
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
But I'm still into growth and something like that. I mean, so not with people in that case, but yeah, with plants and yeah, I love animals as well. So yeah, being outside, outdoors, it's my passion. So
That's really good.
yeah,
Well, I know you quite well, but
yeah,
again, I always give a little space in the beginning to let us know what who is Antonio.
yeah. Well,
Elevator pitch.
yeah, a little pitch. Oh, great. No, no. Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity and to be able to introduce myself. So, yeah, I was actually born and raised in an Italian restaurant. My parents used to have a restaurant, so yeah, from very small age, I came there and yeah, I've seen it all. Then uncles had as well restaurants, hotels, and everything. So like I'm a really hospitality guy, and then you become like 15, 16, and you have to decide what you want to become. I mean, you don't even know. I don't even know right now what I want to become. I guess the most important thing that you want to become is be happy, right? Like everyone says.
Yeah.
And happiness is then very personal, of course.
Absolutely.
But let's say I was 16 and I had to choose for my studies, and at the time I lived in Italy, where I grew up. I lived in Sardinia, in a small village close to Cagliari. It's like the capital of Sardinia. And I wanted to see more of the world because when you are 16 or 17, the like nature is not that interesting. Your interest is somewhere else, of course. You want to discover the world. You want to meet other people. So I took off my journey within hospitality management. I did hotel management studies in Amsterdam.
Nice.
And from there on, my career took off. At a very young age, I was already working in Panama in a hotel. Then I did some work experience as well in Dubai.
Nice.
Then decided to return to the Netherlands. And I actually met my wife at a tourism fair in Utrecht.
Oh, nice.
And that's the reason why I stayed. And I really had this entrepreneurial kind of vibe always around me. I've seen my parents having their own enterprise, and all the family as well. So I decided to open my own restaurant. At the time, I was living in Haarlem, close to Amsterdam, but I had no the funds to open a restaurant over there. So I moved to Apeldoorn. And in Apeldoorn, I had the chance to open a restaurant.
Nice.
My brother helped me as well, so I'm immensely grateful for him and for his
Amazing.
help. The restaurant still exists right now. We are 15 years in.
Nice. What is the name? Shout out to the
It's
restaurant.
Pibia.
Pipia.
Pibia.
Shout out to Pipia.
Yeah, it's great. It's my last name. It's my last name.
Oh yes, that's true.
So we
yeah.
built it all from scratch, from nothing, and I mean it's like 160 seats. So
Wow. That must have been an amazing, experience to learn a lot of things.
yeah. I mean, I thought I learned everything at the school and hotel management and
Yeah.
everything, but I mean the real lesson came when you start your first restaurant yourself. And I had always big dreams, so I was not happy with just 50 seats. Large
Grow.
restaurant and
Yeah.
grow. So I said, if things go wrong, they will go wrong. Either you have 50 seats or 160 seats. So I immediately planned for success, right?
Nice.
So like all success stories, people at the beginning say you will never fill the restaurant. I mean, you will have empty seats and everything. But 3 years in, and I had the lines outside. So it took 3 years, and at the time it looked like very long. But if you look back now, it was only 3 years.
Yeah.
Then 7 years in with my own restaurant, I started to delegate more, of course. Instead of doing everything yourself, working in the business, I started working on the business, so I had more time available. Decided to open a different kind of side hustle, which was about coaching hospitality teams. I did also my master in non-verbal communication just to enhance my capabilities, because sometimes you're really good in something, but to transmit it to someone else, it's a whole different story. So really try to focus really again on myself, improving my skills, and how to coach actually a team.
Really nice.
So that's what I did, and then COVID came, so I had
course,
2 businesses in hospitality.
Whoa.
Great, right?
All right. What to do?
So the thing that I did is that I kept everyone working for me. So I had 30 employees working for me at the restaurant, and 4 more for the hospitality business and coaching business. So I decided to keep them all and
That's
to pay
amazing.
them like for 2 years, and which we were about close to, like 14 months we were closed in total, I guess. No money coming in, but I was able to pay them. I did it because I knew that the moment that the world opened again, that without human capital, I wouldn't go anywhere. And of course, you had people, a really strange story, but you had people leaving the day we could reopen, but that was only 20%. But I always believe in the good side of people, so
Yeah, and-
really happy and grateful that 80% stayed. And what it meant to me is that the moment that I reopened the doors, that I was prepared for what was coming, because everybody remembers that as soon as we could do everything again, there were lines everywhere. So I was able to digest demand and to scale up quickly again.
Nice.
So for me, it were like 2 years of reflection, and people say, yeah, but you lost all that money. And I said, that's true, I lost money, but nobody can take away the most important thing, and that is knowledge. I know the trick, I know how to do it, so I can rebuild so much faster now, a restaurant, hospitality business, because knowledge stays with you. They can take away everything from you,
That's so
but not your
true.
knowledge.
That's so true.
And then, like 2 years ago, I wanted more.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah, I
good.
wanted do something more. So it was like a moment for me in which I had really, really much work. And like any leader, I had this kind of loneliness. I was at the top, and the view was great, but I had no one to share the view with,
Hmm.
except maybe from my wife. But when you are at the top and you reach the top, you don't have many people that actually share the journey
The
or
same
share the
vision. Yeah.
success. So I really felt lonely in that case. So I went home to Sardinia for a couple of months and stayed with my parents, and I really used that time to reconnect. I have the fortune that Sardinia is one of the world's blue zones. I'm not sure if you know what the blue
I know,
zone
but
is.
maybe you
Yeah,
can say because
yeah,
I'm sure
I can.
people
Okay,
don't
blue.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, there are 5, 6 blue zones in the whole world, and a blue zone is actually a zone in which you have a really high concentration of people living 90 or 100 years plus in really good health. And of course, they have a certain lifestyle, certain attributes, and everything. So I sit there with myself and looking at my uncles and all the elder people and everything. And I was listening so many podcasts about leadership and everything. So I said, but what can I more lead in boardrooms that these people cannot teach me? Sorry about that. If a person that is 100 years old uh, can teach you anything, it's how to lead your life.
Period.
Yeah. So then I said, what if there could be a connection between how these people lead their lives and how people can lead a company? So I tried to find all these intersections, and what I actually found out is that iconic leaders share a lot of attributes that blue zone people, elder blue zone people have actually.
Interesting.
And then you have like attributes like presence, connection, very good self-care, a sense of purpose. All these things actually that keep you away from loneliness in this case, but also being happy with what you have right here, right now, and growing from there. Yeah, that's like kind of a nutshell from where I'm now. And yeah, that's I'm busy now with trying to promote this type of philosophy to a larger audience via my socials and even writing a
Nice.
book. But maybe we have the chance to
Yes,
talk
it's
about it
coming. It's
later. Yeah,
coming. It's
great.
coming. Wow, so much to take. I wished I took notes, but I have. I think it's two things in my that I want to comment on. First, when you had to
Yeah,
decide to keep your employees for two
yeah,
years, I think that was one of the most successful things or decision you would have done in that period because, of course, yeah, you said maybe 20% left,
yeah,
but I believe those 80% you might, yeah, I don't want to say even lost the money because you actually invested the money
yeah,
in loyal team, which actually once I'm sure the COVID open, and then they were like, first head, like, on the first row, want to support, want to be successful, want to help you out. And that's actually what you built those 2 years in the most difficult incident happened to the world with
yeah,
COVID and people lost their jobs, but then they
yeah,
kept their job and then you really invested the money and you built that loyalty. And this is the reason why I'm bringing this, because this is a great example of a leader. Because really, like, you have two kind of people who lead, people who, boss.
yeah,
So you really wanted to lead a team who can really strive for you after and really want to be with you, part of you. You wanted to make a family, I think. At least what I feel.
yeah. True, true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Is that what you think?
I think, I mean, you cannot invest enough in human capital.
Absolutely.
And of course, you have people that abuse your kindness in this case, but most of them will really see you as a leader and I always try to help my employees to grow. Um, and during that time, I always said to myself, of course, it came to mind just to fire them and whatever. I mean, there were enough reasons to do it, but before having a business, I have a relationship also with these people, and they have a family to take care for, and they have their plans and their visions. And I always think positive. So I said, I mean, the situation can be forever like this. Um, if we go under, just go under together, and we will rebuild it together.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And as a leader, I prefer to be amongst my people than above them. Sometimes people confuse leadership with power.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people need to live in a tower, let us say, also, or at like the highest floor of a building. But that's like becoming the king in your castle, right? Where people just see your portrait or a picture of you, but don't really know you. I love it that my people know me. I promote that kind of leadership, a leadership based on visibility and connection. And be there for them, not be a stranger in your own business. Not be a stranger in this case, since we are talking a lot about hospitality. Don't be a stranger in your restaurant.
Yeah.
Don't be
definitely.
a stranger in your hotel.
Yeah.
And there are great examples out there because I visit hotels many times, and of course you see sometimes, I mean, managers walking through and doing the things that a leader needs to do. But there are enough examples out there which are actually not the case yet. Some leaders believe that showing themselves amongst their people is vulnerable. But in my opinion, it's actually strength.
Yeah, I agree on that.
I have this great story. I was like, can I
Bring it on? Yes,
okay.
please.
I have this great story. It was like 2018. I was in Dubai. I was walking in Dubai Mall with my wife. We were actually in honeymoon, so we did like a honeymoon tour in the Middle East. And
It's
this is
the
a great
best place
story.
to be.
Yeah, it's best. Yeah, still agree. It was like September, so it was not really high season. Walking in Dubai Mall, sipping a coffee with some dates, and like
Arabic coffee.
Arabic coffee. Of course, I love it. I love it
Yes.
so much. Oh, the smell only. And then we turned around. There was like this chit chat, and people start turning around, and there he was. It was like, I mean, the sheikh
Check, yeah.
walking in Dubai Mall with just 4 or 5 other people around him, and he was just stopping by, talking to people.
True. That's true.
And when I felt that presence, I said, I mean, this is what real leadership is.
Yeah.
And this is my personal story. And then, like last week, it should be like I don't know, like the universe saying, okay, you should tell this story. I saw a video on LinkedIn, and he was sitting actually in the metro.
In the metro, yeah, I saw that too.
it.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
So that's what I mean, saying staying amongst your people. And it has nothing to do with not being a leader, because some leaders are afraid, again, staying amongst them and not above them will make them vulnerable, but actually it makes you stronger. And what it also helps is makes you understand your people and be accepted.
Absolutely.
And instead of getting less respect, you get more respect.
Absolutely.
Because if you feel, let's say, if you feel they not their pain maybe, but their effort, if you feel what they're going through, they will do anything for you in return.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There are, I've also, based on my experience, there are two type of leadership.
Yeah.
There are a leader where you want to follow because you love it. You want to do it. You're inspired. You want to be like that. You want to be part of that. You want to be part of that success, and you do it out of love, not only because you just want to have your salary at the end of the month. This is really true, and this happened in so many stories like that. And there's other type, which you're just following the leader because you just have to follow.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you don't like what the style, you don't like the approach,
No.
you hate it, but you just do it because you have to do it. So this is very toxic from both sides. Huh? This is
Yeah.
from the leader side, from the employee, from
True,
both
true.
sides. And the other one is the one that I experienced it myself, not all the time, but yeah, most of the time. But I fully agree with you. It's just to be there for them, be there, understand, listen, lead by example. It's not just a word. It's really true. You have to lead by example.
Yeah, true. Yeah, one of my, I recall, like, one of my first leaders was like, not like the leader type we're talking right now. He was the type of leader that actually will not survive within the upcoming 10, 20 years in hospitality or in all the other business. Especially with this new Gen Z coming up and working, they are used to different kind of approach, really based on connection. Shall I tell this story?
Yes,
It
please.
was like, yeah, I'm full of stories. It was like my I was working in a hotel in Panama. It was 2012. So I was just 19, I guess. I was 19. I was 19 a long time ago. I was the kind of person that what I seen from home and the leadership style that my family used to do, to thank people, even if they get a salary. So I came there and, within a couple of months, I was able to manage a small team on the reception desk. And one day my manager came in and he said, Antonio in the office. Okay, sir. And it was Panama and it was about, 19 years ago. So the hierarchy level was still really, really in place. I mean, especially in South America, you can tell the difference even today. It's getting less and less, but still. So I came in and he told me, Antonio, I want you to stop thanking your team for their efforts. They are paid to do the job.
Yeah, this is a story of hospitality, unfortunately.
Yeah. So at that moment, I didn't know what to say. I was young, inexperienced, and everything. Okay, I said the only thing that I could say was yes, sir, of course. But now I realized, like after a couple of years, I realized that is not the leader that I want to be. Because, I mean, salary pays for the job, but gratitude honors the person. And that's, I think, sometimes even more important than the salary itself.
Can't agree enough. Can't agree. I think I fully get what you're saying because I've been in that industry. I know exactly how it goes. And I think what is really ridiculous, and I always actually brought it up in several cases, that exactly like this, whoever manager told you, like, okay, yeah, this is the job. You don't need to thank. This is exactly what they should be doing because this is what they're getting paid for. Not actually. Not.
No.
It's, if you have two kind of also sort of employees or people will be working. Someone that would do just the job, just what he's getting paid for.
Yeah.
Because that's it. There's nothing more.
No.
And there's other people who always go for the extra mile. And by the way, that's not because they are expecting to hear something or you want to hear thank you or something. No, it's just that feeling that the leader brings to them, that leadership approach that they want to do the extra mile to be there for the success of the whole company, the whole team, not only themselves. And this is what really drives it. But yeah, it's so true that people with a lot of leaders, unfortunately, would just, this is what they have to do. This is their job, Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. True.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Really nice stories, man. It's again like every single episode. I have structure. Never follow.
No, don't worry.
No worries. But I want to go to.
I mean, it's hospitality.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
So
it is. So much stories.
Yeah.
Reflecting on your entrepreneurial path, what's one surprising lesson that stayed with you all the way? Like something that you always learn, you always implement, and it always works. It can be in leadership, it can be in the restaurant working, it can be an attitude, or I don't know. That's something that really a habit or something that you use that always helps you out to win.
Oh, to win. Oh, that's an amazing question. I know what helped me to win, and I know what will help others to win any situation and to win any situation for them. it's kind of curious because your podcast is called Level Up,
Yes.
and I'm very much a person that is for promoting leveling. So what has brought me far in life is understand situations, understand people, being able to read people, and then level and meet people where they are, and not let people meet you where you are.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
And you have to put aside sometimes your ego and your status. They're just labels anyhow.
Absolutely.
What I mean with leveling is saying tomorrow I can have dinner in a 5-star hotel in the Burj Al Arab in Dubai in fine dining setting and being able, to be one of them. Tomorrow I can sit with shepherds on a rock in the mountain of Sardinia and still be accepted. I'm telling you this because if you're able to level, people start to listen to you and you understand in what you can say in a certain setting and what you can not say to be accepted. It's very important as well when you're working with a team and when you're trying to winning a team for you and letting people do things for you. The moment I talk your language, you understand me. If I
Exactly.
talk difficult language, boardroom language to frontline staff and expect them to do the work for me, they will never get it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You're creating distance. So leveling is really a thing that has brought me far in life
Nice.
till now, and it's
Perfect.
also an amazing thing, right? But
Yeah.
because you want to feel part of it when you enter a community, when you enter a meeting. Just not necessarily lowering, but you go on the level and feel the vibe, see who is talking to you, and meet the person over there.
Yes. Stay humble. Like
Yeah, stay
be
humble.
kind.
You can have a great car, fine, and a big house, okay, but you can lose it tomorrow. But people remember you not for your big car, but
Exactly.
for your
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah. For
And
what made them
yeah,
feel.
yeah,
That's really
yeah,
and again in hospitality, but really not only in hospitality. I think in life,
yeah,
if people always remember the feeling,
true.
not the material stuff,
No,
because it
no.
goes away and they will forget you.
Yeah,
But what really stays in the people's head, what you made them feel about certain situation or about themselves or about yourself, and that's really why I always also say this to my kids as well. Like you gotta be kind. You gotta really
yeah,
always be kind to yourself first,
yeah.
but also to everyone around you, because that's what will make really the difference in life. Yeah.
I always say, yeah, people will abuse your kindness and everything, but then I have always a great answer, and it's like, yeah, but you're not kind for them. You are kind for yourself.
Yes, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. And yeah, I get it. Sometimes you have to, just think of your kindness also to not be used. Sometimes you have to think, okay, who I'm kind with, why, what. But
True.
it's always, for me, always be kind first,
Yeah.
and then think about whatever comes after. But always your first attitude is to be kind and always to give back that kindness, because believe it or not, if you want to uh, take kindness back, you don't really need to do it to wait for it. You know what I mean. You don't need to be kind to be
No,
receiving kindness,
no.
but it will come anyway.
Yeah, it will
It will
come. It will
anyway.
come. True,
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
so
great,
true.
amazing.
I want to move to the philosophy Charmed and Grounded, because I'm personally interested in that, and you're preparing to publish the Charmed and Grounded. What inspired you with the title, and maybe talk us a little bit about the philosophy?
Charmed and Grounded is this philosophy. It's a leadership philosophy that came to me actually while being in the blue zone of Sardinia, watching these people lead their lives and then matching their way of living with real leadership examples. And I said, okay, what is it that make great leaders different from other leaders? What is that one thing or two things or three qualities or four qualities? What are the qualities of this great leader that stick? And why others are forgotten and some are always remembered? Hopefully positively. I come up with this title, Charmed and Grounded, because charm makes someone being liked. Charm is a quality that makes people attracted to you. But charm was not sufficient, because I tell you, become a charming leader, that's fine, but charm over time can create mistrust.
Hmm.
So a great leader is also grounded, right? Because grounded creates trust. Grounded is equal to presence. So if you mix the two together, you have a magnetic leader. A leader that is both present, grounded, but also magnetic and attractive to other people by the way they lead, by the way they lead their lives, by the way they inspire.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the start of the philosophy, and then I interlinked many leaders and leadership ways of how they actually bring about the way of leading their path to others. And I've compared so many leaders of the past, trying not to include leaders of nowadays, actually, because you never know what people are doing. So I rather choose that people already.
Yeah.
Sometimes, oh, sorry about that. Sometimes you have like people doing great all their lives, and suddenly they start a war, for example. So yeah, that's why I choose leaders from the past. What this philosophy does is actually it teaches presence, it teaches humbleness, and it shows people and leaders that being present and kind is not equal to softness, but it's equal to power.
Really well said.
If I can give an example, Nelson Mandela, for example,
Absolutely.
both charming, both grounded.
Absolutely.
So by analyzing this type of leaders, combining it with the way of life people have in the blue zone, I came up with this philosophy, and which I talk about in the book. I come up with a great framework, and this framework actually helped leaders to become both grounded and both charmed. If I want, I can tell you a little bit more about this framework.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we have time for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
of course,
okay,
yeah.
great. It's based on 5. It's called the roundtable framework, and it's based on 5 metaphorical seeds. So you have the seed of connection, the seed of clarity, the seed of rhythm, the seed of accountability, and the seed of humility.
Whoa.
So as a leader, as a philosophy, this philosophy promotes that every leader, before entering a room or a meeting or inspiring someone, has to choose which seed does my team need in this moment.
This is really good.
Do I need to be focusing on connection, or maybe accountability, or is it rhythm that my team needs? This, in very short, is actually what the book is about.
That's really the 5.
The
I
5
think
seeds.
qualities.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
also seeds.
Yeah.
The way we say it. I think they are very. What is the word? Like secret ingredient for to be a really successful in life. Not only as a leader, but also in life.
That's a great thing what you're saying right now, because the book doesn't teach you for instance to lead within a company. It comes up with frameworks, ideas, and philosophies to lead your own life first. So as a leader, it sounds cliche, but first lead yourself before leading others.
Absolutely. Look in the mirror.
Yeah, look in
Michael
the
Jackson said it, yeah.
yeah, look in the mirror. But sometimes people forget about the mirror, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
And then again, the round table, it's called the round table method. The round table is because to remember people to lower and to level.
Yeah.
Then we go level again to be there with a team, speak their language, speak in their words. And then, yeah, the table has also a more metaphorical idea is when we are sitting all on the same level, everyone's voice has the same weight. And I'm not saying that there is no hierarchy because everybody knows who their leader is, but I'm just saying that this leader, this type of leader that I promote, doesn't need a throne to lead.
It's the hierarchy, principle.
Yeah.
Is very funny. I always find it very funny. It's important. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think for me, based on my experience, based on where I worked, and I have both, like sort of cultures I worked with. One with hierarchy,
Yeah.
the top, the CEO, you cannot touch, you cannot talk, you cannot see,
No.
and the other one where you really can connect so easily and just becoming. And I think it's a matter of also again the leader of the one on the top, how he is spreading that to the entire pyramid, like someone on the top in the pyramid. So how is he sharing the culture to the entire pyramid? And for me, it was always simple. Like, it doesn't matter what is the title, CEO or, valet parking or steward or sales or PR. It doesn't matter. Everyone has a job or a title based on his own or her own experiences, and doing that to kind of help the full picture to succeed. So if that culture is kind of, working, then there's nothing called hierarchy, because then everyone is just working together in a peaceful, in a positive environment, doing their job, doing what they are good at, and not feeling, oh, there's somebody is higher than me, or I cannot reach to that person, or because he's the top of the.
I think it actually it gives away actually more openness to the leader and more approachable.
Yeah.
And of course, for the leader himself, it's kind of more work. But then again, if you feel that you're not doing it alone, some weight gets off your shoulders, right? I always want to be the leader that is approachable for anyone. Every time I meet people, they say, Mr. Pibia. No, just call me Antonio.
Yes. Livening.
Yeah, I invite.
Yeah.
I always say, a leader. The leadership that we are talking about is a leadership based on connection. So also on invitation, right? That's why the table. That's why the 5 seats. Please come have a seat at my table. Okay. I'm the one in charge. We know that. But all the great councils in the past were around, right? If we go even like very, very much into history, even like people will sit around campfires.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, who is in charge, but it doesn't mean that we cannot sit together.
Exactly. I love it. I'm really looking forward to that. When is the release, you think?
In autumn. I hope the 1st October. I'm striving on that date,
Nice.
but it doesn't depend all on me.
Nice, of course. But
so,
really, all the best. I'm looking forward to that. And
me
definitely
too.
we're going to shout on it, and I will leave your information as well. Maybe something, we spoke a lot about qualities, leadership, and really things that is good. But I also want to highlight the not good stuff. So what common mistake you think maybe leaders sometimes or they do and they don't notice of it? From your own experiences, of course, it can be in a hotel or a restaurant, but what do you think?
Isolation, I think, is one of the biggest problems.
It's a really big one. It's a really big one.
And it's all interconnected with what we have talked about so far. But what I see around, what I hear around, is that we live like in an era in which we all believe we are so much connected. And it's not only a leadership problem, of course, but loneliness and isolation is really alive. So
how would you fix that? How would you kind of change that? Or
I would say read my book just to get inspiration of how you can lead differently without losing your title if you like it so much. I always ask myself why people why these leaders try to isolate themselves. they won't be happy to admit it, but what I see many times is that their ego stands in their way. You see, they have built a brand around them and a figure around themselves, but that's not who they really are. So if you're not leading from a place who you really are, then problem arises of isolation,
Mm.
of people not knowing who you really are, of being alone in your tower, on your throne, amazing suit and everything, but still lonely. That's the main problem that I encounter right now.
That's deep. It's a really deep one. I wanna. It's connected to my actually next segment or
Yeah.
next question. For leaders who might feel disconnected, or overstretched, from their work, what kind of tips? Where do they start from to change their reality?
Say what these leaders want to hear probably is, okay, tell me everything, but don't tell me to stop because I have to do this and that, and I don't want to be vulnerable, right? I don't want to look vulnerable. But the only thing that you can do is to pause,
Reflect.
reflect. What am I doing? Because they might have, like, the show is going on perfectly, right? Whatever show they're running, but they fail to run their self well. So the only thing that you can do is to pause and reflect on that and apply the helicopter view that you are applying on your company, on yourself. The problem with leaders is that acceptance level of saying, okay, something is off, is much higher than like ordinary people. They've pushed themselves so far, and the farther you are from yourself, the longer it takes to return, and the longer it takes to accept it. But the greatest medicine is taking a pause. You don't have to revolutionize your life. You don't have to sell your house or whatever, change your wife, and all those other things that you can come up with. But saying, hey, I don't want to lead myself anymore in this way. I'm stepping away and I want to come back as a different person. And this is different for any leader in the world. There's no specific recipe for saying, okay, some people like to do meditation and it works. Some people want to go out with dogs, take a dog bed, whatever, and that works. Some people want to take like an ice bath every morning just to reconnect with themselves. I'm just stressing out the pause because it gives you the time to listen to your own voice, your inner voice. I can help you. The book might help you what I'm writing right now. But the answer is different for any one of us. That's why I
Absolutely.
promote a philosophy. And I'm not giving like a recipe of success. Because this recipe is different for anyone
For
of
everyone.
us.
Yeah. Agree. Really.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for the book and definitely will keep your information so people can follow also and find out
I'm
more.
so grateful. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Yeah, but we're almost in the end. I have a couple of things before we finish, and again, the time is so fast.
Yeah.
We need to push it. But you started your entrepreneur journey very early, like age, just
Yeah.
directly after you finished. So, if I want to ask you on like what are the most really important tips and advice you can give to a startup, including myself, I'm starting up, but to anybody as well who's starting up a business, and it doesn't matter what kind of business. So it can be hospitality, restaurant, it can be whatever. But what are the really main qualities or habits or things that you could advise a startup entrepreneur person?
It's a great question. A couple of weeks ago, my wife came home and she received a present, and it was a statue of a monkey, and this monkey where is covering actually his ears, so meaning don't listen too much to what other people say. Just go your own way. And I know there are other monkeys coming, because you have also a monkey that's covering the eyes, the mouth, etc. Of course, as an entrepreneur, you want to speak, so don't cover the mouth. But covering your ears is really powerful. Once you have chosen your path, try to surround yourself with people sharing the same vision, that have been there on that path. Because it's always easier to look at the negative instead of the more difficult and positive aspect of entrepreneurship. And if there would be a thing that I could say to myself in that position years ago, I would say, don't rush. Make sure there is still time to make fun, because in the beginning I was giving like 110% of myself. I'm doing it right now as well, but I learned to manage my energy differently. And at the beginning, you tend to put in all your effort and all your energy in what you're building, and it's obvious. It should be like that, because you have to do it. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. But make also time to, listen to yourself, make fun, and breathe. Because many times you forget to breathe.
Oh, yes.
And you think, okay, I have this great idea, I have to do it now, bam, 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 and it pops out, and after 3 months, you're almost burned out.
Yeah. This is really powerful, because I think I relate to that. You said first, which is really, really important, don't listen to the naysayers, like people around you, because I think nobody sees what you see, nobody believes in what you believe, and nobody actually will want to do what you want to do in terms of whatever you want to do. So that's a really good one to start with. And the second one also I really like is really take your time, like don't rush. I love that, because we always get that feeling, I want to do this locally, I want to make the website, I want to make I want to make that, and then you really end up probably stretching yourself, and then you can also be like fall down,
Yeah, and then again, don't isolate yourself.
Yeah.
That's a mistake.
Really
that's
nice
a really mistake that I made.
I really agree.
Because I was too much focused on the business for years. I lost friends. I didn't go to family birthdays and everything. So
it's important, the social part as well, really.
It's really, don't forget that.
Don't forget that, yeah. That's true.
I mean, there are so many more hours that wait for you in which you can do all the work.
Nice.
But
really
don't
nice.
isolate yourself. Find like-minded people. And now, especially with all the means of connection that we have, it's easier to find like-minded people.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago, it was kind of more difficult in that case for me.
Yeah, it's such an important factor, actually, is because not only to be connected, but when you surround yourself, I believe in that, with people who's also striving for success, you get inspired, you get motivated, and this is really important.
And they also motivate you sometimes to push when you have to push, but also, okay, now it's time to push the brake instead of the accelerator. And when you start, it's easier to push the accelerator, but sometimes you are too hard on yourself and you never push the brake. And sometimes it's a kind of too late.
That's true. Wow. We're done. Time is out, but I have one last. I always ask very quickly.
Yeah.
Since the podcast is called Level Up, and I had to dig deep to find this name to figure it out. What does Level Up means to you? It can be professional or person, doesn't matter. But just as a word, what it doesn't mean to you?
Trying to know myself better each and every day. And for me, leveling up is like doing the things that I want, doing the things that make me happy without thinking about what others might say, might think, might do. That is for me leveling up.
Nice.
And especially, family, friendship, that comes first.
I definitely did level up today.
Yeah. I heard about it. Yeah. So that's for me is really leveling up. Business is great. money needs to be made. Money buys you time, in the sense that it buys you things that you can do with your own time and decide what you want or what not to do.
Whew, that was really nice. That was
Thank
really
you.
good. Yeah,
Thank you so
it was really nice to have you, Antonio. It was real deep conversations. I'm really looking forward to release the episode. I'm gonna also share your information so people can reach out to you. And yeah, we definitely stay connected. Thank
Yeah.
you for your time today.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Nice, man.
Grazie.
Good to have
Grazie.
you.
Thank
you,
you so
Jonathan.
much.
Shout out to the podcast scammer again. Every
Grazie.
time, if you're looking for a podcast scammer, reach out. Awesome. Thank you.